Hi, my name is Candace, aka Picasso Baby, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create your very own Juneteenth painting. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for stopping by. We are 6 months into 2021. We are officially in June. And as you all know, June is a super busy month. There's a lot of different things going on in June. We have June as Pride Month. That's when a lot of people start their vacations. We have Father's Day. June is also the ending of Gemini season and the beginning of Cancer season. Shout out to all my Cancers. But we also have a super special holiday in June that is known as Juneteenth. Juneteenth is the actual celebration of slaves being emancipated in 1865. So I want to take the time out to celebrate that day with you all. I'm also celebrating by wearing a shirt designed by a friend of mine. She's an amazing PR. She has her own blog. She sells her own products. And this shirt specifically was designed in mind for her friends that own black businesses, and it says minding my black business. So that's what I'm going to be doing today with you all. So let's go over a few things before we get started. So I'm going to go over our supplies. As always, you are going to need 16 by 20 inch canvas or the canvas size of your choice. It's completely up to you. As you can see, this one already has hands drawn out on it. I'm going to insert a picture of this. That way you can pause it and draw it out, or you can always project the image onto your canvas and you can just trace it. A few other things you'll also need. You want to make sure that you have some different size acrylic brushes, a water cup for your to clean your brushes, napkins to dry it off on, and then you also want to make sure that you have a plate with your different paints. I do use acrylic paint, and I'm using the colors titanium white, Mars black, bright red, chrome yellow, phthalo blue, and I'm also using burnt sienna. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and also, as always, if you're above 21, you can have the drink of your choice. If you're under 21, just grab yourself some water like me. I am over 21, but it's a little early in the day, so I am going to just be enjoying some water. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to start by simply mapping out my background. I want my background to be a few different colors. The colors are going to be yellow, green, and red. Now, if you want different colors on your background, it is completely up to you. You can definitely do the colors of your choice, but I'm going to map out where each color is going. So I'm starting with a larger flat brush, and I am going to pull a yellow line down to the thumb, well, between the thumb and the pinky, and same thing on this side. And then I'm going to have green on this side and red on this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually mix up my green. If you have green paint, you can use the green paint you have. If you don't have green paint, you can always mix up yellow and blue. And keep in mind, the more yellow you use, the brighter your green will be. The more blue you use, the darker your green will be. I'm going to actually put my green right over here. And then I'm going to mark off where my red is going as well. That way I can put it all in. So I'm going to do everything around my hands in this middle section yellow. I'm going to do everything on this side green and everything on this side red. So let's go ahead and get started. And as you all know, in the last video, I did do a giveaway. I gave away a few different kits to some of my subscribers, just as a thank you. If you did enter your Instagram name, or if you entered your email, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for following me and supporting me. And if you were one of the winners, I hope you have received your kits. I hope you've enjoyed them. I believe there's one person who I emailed about a kit. And if you have not checked your email to see if you got an email from Paint Party, please make sure you check your email. Make sure you weren't that person. If you were, your instructions on how to receive your kit is in there. But yeah, I want to thank you guys. We're continuously growing. More followers are coming. I absolutely love your feedback. And I just love painting with you all. So as I'm getting these colors down, one thing I'm going to also do, every now and then, I'm going to add a little bit of white to my brush to just add some thickness to my paint and give it a bit of a thicker layer, because sometimes this yellow can be super transparent. So I'm going to be picking up a little bit of white, and you can do the same when you do your green. You can pick up a little bit of white when you do your red as well. It's completely up to you. But I'm just going to work on getting the background filled in, and then we'll move to the next step together. All right, so now that the background is completely filled in, we are going to go back and add like some designs to it. So we just want to give it a chance to dry. If you would like to give yourself a break, remember you can always step away from your painting for about 10 to 15 minutes to let it dry. But for the next step, you don't necessarily have to take a break. And you can always use a blow dryer as well. You can use a blow dryer to dry it more quickly. But because I'm moving right onto the hands, I don't have to worry about letting the background dry. I'm just going to go back to my bigger brush. Just make sure you wash it out really well. And I'm going to show you a few different skin tones. So if you like that brown how it is, that burnt sienna, you can definitely use it as is. If you want to go lighter, you can mix brown and white. If you want to go for more of a caramel tone, that is going to be brown, yellow, and a little bit of white. And if you want to go a bit darker, it's going to be black and a little bit of brown. And just always remember, if you're going to be doing the black and brown, make sure you don't mix any white in there. Make sure you don't even have any white in your brush, because it will give you more of an ashy look. And I'm sure we don't want our hands to be ashy on Juneteenth. So make sure that if you're doing that darker skin tone, make sure you don't have any white on your brush. But once you choose the skin tone of your choice, you're going to be filling in each of these fingers completely. The only thing you won't be filling in is the fingernails. And the fingernail on the pinky is skipped only because if you hold your hands like that, you actually can't see the pinky fingernail. So again, you don't have to worry about that. But you just want to choose your skin tone and start to fill in your hands. And you do want to make sure that you're going right around the fingers. If you need to use like a smaller brush to outline around the fingers, you definitely can. But always keep in mind, if you get something inside of the fingernail, it's okay. As long as you can still see your outline, you'll be able to paint right over that. So if you get something inside of the fingernail, don't freak out too much. have both of your hands filled in. Again, if you would like to take a break to let it dry, that way you don't smear anything, you definitely can, but you don't have to. If you want to move to the next step, for the next step that I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go ahead and fill in my fingernails. Now, I am going to switch to a bit of a smaller brush, and I am going to be mixing up just like a natural nail color. If you want actual nails on there, if you want a specific polish on there, it's completely up to you. I am going to be mixing up just brown and white. Whatever color you choose, make sure that it's a little lighter or a little darker than your actual hand. That way you'll be able to see the difference. So, and you'll be able to see that on this first one here that I do. So you see how my nail is just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to keep that going, and I'm going to get the rest of these fingernails filled in. Now, once you have your nails filled in, I actually am going to take a break this time. I want everything to be completely dry before I start the next step of adding in my outline, my words, and my details in the background. So I am going to take a step back and give this about 10 to 15 minutes to dry. Remember, if you want to grab a blow dryer, you can definitely do that. Otherwise, just give yourself a break, grab your drink, have a sip, and then we'll start on the next step in a
few moments later.
Okay, so now that our paintings are dry, the hands are dry, the background should be dry, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start to add those finishing touches that's going to really bring it out. So the first thing I want to add is I want to go in and actually add a word going across the top. The reason why the hands are up is because it's like it's holding up a word. And that word for me is going to be freedom. If you want to add any other word, you definitely can. It's up to you. I'm actually going to use one of my flat brushes. That way it can make the perfect lines for me, and all of the lines can be the same size. So again, I am going with freedom. If you want to do Juneteenth, any other word, it's completely up to you. But I am choosing freedom because that is what that day was all about. That is what we are celebrating. So yeah, so freedom it is for me. Now that I have that on, I'm going to actually add some details to the background, and I'm going to show you a few different cool details that you can add in. So for example, if you just want, and I'm still using the same brush in black paint, if you just want to add some quick details, you could do like lines like that. You could even do arrows, and that would give it a nice little detail. If you wanted like swirls or circles, or if you just wanted full circles, you can do it however you like. It's completely up to you. So I'm just going to go in and start to add some of these details to my background. So once you feel like you have enough design on your background, what I'm going to go back to is one of my smaller brushes, because now I want to go in and add an outline around my fingers, my hands, just really cleaning those up and making it pop out. So I'm using a small brush, black paint, and I am outlining the nail and the fingers. And if you can still see any of your pencil or marker lines, like how you drew your hand out, you can still see that outline. That's where you want to make sure you're outlining that. You want to make sure that you are covering those lines we started with, covering them with the black paint. And also for this part, if you want to add anything, like any extra lines, for example, like if you want to add like little knuckle lines anywhere on the fingers, you definitely can. Again, it just gives it that extra detail to really make your painting pop. Now, once you have everything filled in the way that you want, so the details in the background, the word that you have across the top, your fingers and everything. If you want any extra details, for example, if you want any jewelry on your hands or on your wrist or anything, or just anything, like if you want to add white into your letters or any highlights anywhere, how you personalize your painting is completely up to you. But once you are finished, the last thing you want to make sure to do is simply taking your smallest brush, a little bit of paint. I'm using white paint, and I am going to sign my initials in the corner. You can sign your name wherever and however you like. And once you have done that, you are finished and you have your very own Juneteenth painting. Thank you all so much for painting with me today. I appreciate you. Again, if you're new here, thank you for coming by to paint today. And if you've been here before, thank you for stopping back by. Make sure before you leave that you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your suggestions down below. I am getting to some more suggestions this month. So if I haven't gotten to yours, keep an eye out for it. More are going to be coming up. And as always, have fun with painting, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.